Namaste and welcome. Deanna with Empowering Empaths. I'm coming to you for our energy update through April 20th through the 26th. I have wrote down some notes to share, so before I came on I already did my prayer and set my intention always for this channel to encourage and uplift. However, with that being said, increase your prayer, however you do it is fine. But I would definitely tether to your golden silver cord, that connection to God, Creator, Source, all through this week, because I'm probably going to name this a rocky road. And I'm going to try my best to be very clear and go through this kind of quickly so that it's not too long. I don't want to lose listeners. If you're new today, my intention always is to encourage the sensitive souls, the light walkers, the earth keepers, those that are already in the unity consciousness of compassion for all. So I already did a 3-degree new moon Taurus video. You can look for that in my archive. But there's so many different things that are going on, as above, so below, at this time of this new moon. It's super important, guys, that you set your intention with this dark moon coming up on the 22nd, I do believe. Yes. Depending on where you're at. So I'm going to go through some other things, and the reason that I am calling this a rocky road, because we have some squares going on. Squares in astrology are an aspect that can be difficult, but they can also be the energy of really getting some shit done. And Sun square Saturn on Tuesday the 21st is like a pressure point, so to speak. So feeling like we are stuck between a rock and a hard place, possibly, right? The sun representing our soul, Saturn, the father of time, this huge outer planet that is dismantling things as it moves through Capricorn. It is currently in Aquarius at this time. However, it will be going back into Capricorn, into that house of structure and all those things that have been built, and that anything that is not in integrity and in transparency is going to be revealed. I feel we're in that time right now. So let me go ahead and skip through to some other highlights that I wanted to. Saturday, Pluto goes retrograde at 25 degrees, which is also the United States. Pluto is 27 degrees. So with Mercury being in a square with Pluto, don't be surprised if we see through communication of some sort on the collective stage, some hidden things that come out through communication. And we probably will see this keep happening going forward as Saturn, Pluto are basically uprooting any of the things that have been hidden, and kind of causing this dismantling that we're in, and it's intense. So expect something this week through kind of like Saturday, right? These are always timeless messages because it is symbolic and metaphoric, but we can't deny that we're in intense times. So my support for you is here for that reason. This is always to encourage you and give heads up to possibilities, and always know that our consciousness as the human species can continue to wake up and choose to set the stage to manifest different outcomes going forward. Always remember that. So don't be surprised if we have some hidden truth come out through communication this week, especially if we move in towards Saturday when Mercury is in a square with Pluto, because Pluto's those hidden dark things, right? The things that we're all wanting to and seeing come to the light, be uprooted. Sunday, Sun, Uranus conjunct. So Uranus is a fast-changing planet. It is the co-ruler of Aquarius, and it teaches us about change. It teaches us, it can be quick change. It teaches us how we can detach from certain things and then attach to other things. So changing ideas right now is huge. I know I'm seeing things more clearly. And so I've looked back through my awakening and have this realization that, wow, look at how your perspective has changed. That's good. Stay open, because a lot of people are choosing cognitive dissonance right now, which is so clung to their ideas. And then even if something's presented to them, they deny it. Don't check out right now. Super important. So whatever we may see on a collective stage, come to the light through communication this week. Just remember that we may hear about it, we may see it wherever, hear about it, but it really probably won't amp up into fruition until about the end of January 2021. So back to the Sunday Uranus conjunct, so this can feel within us very unstable. Just remember that, the sun being our soul, being in a conjunct with Uranus, which is also about innovation and change moving forward, right? It is also about huge change. So if you feel within you this instability, breathe through it, do whatever you can. Always increase your self-care. I'm a huge advocate for that. I've realized on my journey the significance of that. Put yourself first in a loving and compassionate way. What did I highlight here? Oh, Uranus, do it or get pushed. That is Uranus. It is in Taurus. It is in a fixed earth sign. That's why it seems very supportive that in the physical we are all going through this huge collective change. And a lot of people who are so clung on to beliefs, right? Feelings, beliefs, it's all got to come to the light. It's all got to fester to the top in order for it to change. And a lot of people, if they are not willing to change within themselves, they'll get pushed into it. I printed the chart for the 27th actually, because the North Node then is at 0 degrees Cancer. I feel throughout this whole week very fluctuations in energy. Keep that in mind. That will prepare you spiritually and emotionally and in the physical to know that anybody that has not faced their own shit, it's really going to amp up through this week. And with it being 0 degrees North Node in Cancer, there's going to be a huge pressure. So anybody that's not faced their things and reevaluated their values, haven't been, see the feminine archetype of nurturing, open, receptive. And this goes even with communication, because Aquarius is the sign of community and communication and change and really integrating a new way. So there's always two polar opposites, things that are done for darkness, things that are done for light, and balancing, harmonizing that. A lot of things are coming to the light that have always been here. It's Pluto and Saturn helping uproot all of these structures that were not built on integrity, and we're seeing it play out in real time. And I know I said this probably 2-3 weeks ago, or I don't know when, on the energy update about manifestation is also happening like fast, real time as well. So keep that in mind. The North Node, 0 degrees in Cancer, which we're moving towards that, right? You're going to feel this energy, just like the ebbs and the flows of the moon. Whether we want to be in denial of it or not, there's a support system in the universe that is here actually to serve us if humans would all get on board with this oneness, heart, and compassion. It usually starts the dismantling phase within your immediate surroundings, and then of course now we're seeing it play out on the stage. So that's why the North Node, I always say, head to your true north, which is your authenticity and your integrity. And with it being Cancer, it's about that nurturing and what we want family to be, and the values, and also the family of the human race, right? So always think of these symbolically on the micro level, macro level. Cognitive dissonance is something that's huge, has been coming up as we all been in this great pause over this past month or so, because people some people don't want to believe that the structures that they believed in that are supporting for the whole humankind have not always been in integrity and authenticity. So that's where we're going to see a lot of people still lashing out. You're going to see a lot of the truth speakers as light workers that are sharing truths that are being revealed at this time, getting slayed by those that are, calling people conspiracy theorists. And I encourage you to look up that term because it was actually demonized by the CIA to have humans not question the agendas. So, don't slay anybody. There's people out protesting. I find that beautiful. There's people that are choosing to still stay isolated. I support that. Be open, because Uranus is always quick change, and it's in Taurus, this fixed earth. That's, I think, a lot of what people are feeling, and that's where we've been in Aries season, constricted, and it's not a good thing when it's spring in the northern hemisphere, or Aries season for that matter, of self, personality, to be constricted. So try to do whatever you can to get that body moving. Anything astrologically. There's always so much, and we're in really a revolutionary time, and our souls chose to be here. And I know I sometimes will argue with my higher self going, really, I can't believe you freaking chose this, you're exhausted. That's where it goes back to that nurturing and what you're finding values in with Taurus, to really make sure that you're nurturing and taking care of yourself, because your values are going to change as well moving forward if they haven't already. If we think as a species we're going to just go back to the way it was, then I think it's a part of that cognitive dissonance, because we've seen these structures who put us all in our place, and how whatever's truly going on, how easily we all just gave up all of our rights, and even the right to speak. Our freedom of speech is being censored. It's real. It's not what I'm manifesting, it's not what I'm envisioning, but it's happening, and me denying that that's happening would be cognitive dissonance. So I'm always anchoring in my light. I did notice that solar plexus issues have been coming up for me personally. Another friend of mine and I were speaking, and there's been a lot of congestion and ear deals, and it's not just in the northern hemisphere. So I'm believing there is, we are a beautiful blue planet floating through the ethers, right? Orbiting around wherever, going through all these new places. So to me, a lot of it is, more of the activation, our DNA coming online, lots of purging, what else? There was another symptom that I wanted to make sure that I shared for this week. It's just, there's a lot of squares. And then we got the sun, our soul, in this conjunct with Uranus, which is always about attachment, detach, quick change. That's what it's basically. Always lightning fast change. So I think go moment by moment how you're feeling. If you need to just surrender, then surrender. If you feel like you need to be sharing truth to try to shine light on the darkness, that Plutonian energy, then do that as well. This is a huge death and rebirth and transformation. And I've been saying this probably as long as I've been on my channel, along with many others, that anything that's not in integrity and not in authenticity will be a bust. So I'm gonna just sum that up. I do want to read from my little book, because I wrote on the top of it, crazy week. It's huge going forward, and I printed that chart out with the North Node for the 27th specifically, because we have, let me see if I can do this backwards today. I would love to. We have the Moon, Venus, the North Node, all pretty close together here, right? And Venus in Gemini is a big deal too, because she is about the twins, but she's the values and the self-love, but she's in this air sign of Gemini, where you can do overthinking, right? So really use discernment on, I think, what you're feeding your energy to, and also what you're speaking to yourself, with that being an air sign ruled by Mercury, right? I think it's a huge time with Venus in Gemini to trust your faith, trust your inner knowingness, because you may not receive the information through communication that's going to confirm anything for you. So pay attention to that with your self-love, because I always kind of symbolically see Venus as, love thyself first as well. So the Sun, Uranus, conjunct right there. And then we have Mercury and Chiron, I always get Chiron in Taurus, Aries, side by side. So and this has already gone past that. Hold on, let me see real quick here. Saturday is when Pluto goes retrograde. 25 degrees. The United States is Pluto is 27 degrees. This is huge. Pay attention to the states. What kind of communication comes out? Something that's already been there. Don't be surprised with that, okay? So what else we got? Neptune's still in Pisces. Mars is at the cusp. Just going into, it's in Aquarius. So our egos are getting this dismantling and rejuvenation and redoing, and our personalities can be shifting at this time as well. I think the hugest, it's like the hugest, Saturn Pluto is here to uproot anything that's not in integrity, and because they are Saturn's an outer planet, Jupiter is about expansion and big and can be super fiery, right? Things can come on hot and heavy, and just kind of keep remembering to anchor your golden white silver cord, your connection to God, creator, source, because that will give us the stability. Mental health, emotional health at this time is sticking out for me huge, because we are not intended to live, in isolation, so to speak. Just always think of it symbolically when I'm sharing it with you guys, because we can grab onto that bigger perspective, like the Jupiter energy, and not be too attached, Uranus, quick change, to things, because if we get our minds and our hearts set on something, or our feelings too set on something, it can cause just huge disruption within ourselves. So I sometimes don't like the way the book even shares this, so I don't share it always, but I just want to do a recap of what I've already shared with my own notes there, guys, because this is going to be a rocky road. If you pray, increase your prayer. If you just hold your light, increase that. Take really good care of yourself. I've been calling upon the golden white light to soothe and comfort and protect me, and I notice it's helping tremendously. So really keep gaining your spiritual muscles, because change is not easy, and this awakening is no freaking cakewalk, obviously. So Sun Saturn square on Tuesday brings delays, tests, and challenges that can throw a wrench into any plan this week. That's why it's stay fluent. Every new moon has all the right stuff for making any type of new beginning. This is a huge time for you to plant your seeds of your new values going forward, guys. I'm just going to skim through this. So Wednesday, April 22nd, you can help find best path to unite. Okay, so this new moon will help us untie the Sun-Saturn knot. So that is your soul, that is restrictions, so stay open. There's a subtle energy shift on Saturday the 25th when Pluto, the smallest and slowest planet, makes a U-turn and starts going retrograde. When a planet goes retrograde, it appears to be moving backwards. It is a time for review of whatever the planet represents. So this is death and rebirth. But like I said, it's going to be doing its dance with Mercury. And we are in the Pluto 27 degrees for the states, and 25 degrees is what it's going to go retrograde at as it stations to go retrograde. So it's going to go back over some things, maybe details through communication that have been left out that will come to the light. So Watch for the tendency to bury things that you know are true. Pluto is an outer planet, which means its effect is subtle, impersonal, and not easy to control because they affect the larger areas of life, climate, politics, and economics. On Sunday, April 26th, there's a Sun-Uranus conjunct that brings a need for freedom-seeking, unexpected change, excitement, and an urge to push beyond the boundaries of your personal comfort zone. So there's going to be some things that are coming up that are not comfortable. That is the importance of not disassociating, right? And really not turning from anything but facing it rather. And that's going to be increased with the intensity, like I said, with the North Node at 0 degrees Cancer. Huge. So we will work with Mystical Shaman Oracle. God, Creator, Source, I call upon your divine golden white light to flow through me, to fill me up, to allow me to be clear communication with some messages here today that encourage, uplift, and bring awareness to all who come in and listen. And I give thanks in advance. So, what was that? Solar plexus has been coming up. Congestion and pressure of like purging. I've been doing oregano oil behind my ears and massaging pressure points on my faces that are tending to help the circle. Oh, geez, I can't hold on to them today. Okay, well, this is some huge encouragement because, you know, Aquarius, age of Aquarius, is the realization that at the center and the core of us, there is one human race. And the control factors have separated the structures that are falling apart, have wanted people to play against each other, whether it be color, whether it be religion differences. At the center of that, there is one human race. And it's in time that we start using our intelligence just as, you know, not depleting each other, not knocking each other off at the knees because we have different perspectives. The colors around us is also, you know, at the center of who we are as souls. We're unified by when we start just having love and compassion with each other, and that it comes in all shapes, sizes, and duties. And it is not okay that people lash out, call names, separate. So that's part of the control factor. 8 is an infinity number. And that's also, you know, that's pretty self-explanatory. It is about the Trinity. It is about the unity. And that is huge because we are going into the age of Aquarius. But it seems like we're in such intensity with a lot of things falling apart. So, like I said, keep tethering to your golden silver cord, your connection to Mother, Father, God, Creator, Great Spirit, whatever you call it. We got next, the Gatherer. So this is the one that's gathering in this is huge with the new moon, even though I already covered that. Like I said, I'd appreciate you go listen to that as well. Give it a thumbs up while you're at it. Gathering what really you value. Plant the new seed at this new moon in Taurus, fixed earth, right? Putting it in the soil so that you can later be the gatherer of your new value system. I believe we all need to grow holistically more food for ourselves so that we can get away from the whole Monsantan type of deal and really stop believing the lie that we don't have enough to sustain us here because the earth provides everything. We just have to honor her and nurture her and not deplete and rape her. So be the gatherer of what your new values are, and basically it's planting that seed at the new moon. Super huge, super significant. Taming the wind, and we will read from this one. I feel this symbolically as thoughts because it is wind. I feel this as in not allowing our thinking to take us down so far down. Like I said, not ignoring any information, right? Or anything being revealed, but don't allow it to be something that takes you down. Calm that within yourself. You can do some breath work by calling them thoughts down into your heart space so that you're syncing your ego personality with your heart. That way you're moving forward in more of a authentic way. Okay, let's read from this. Here the feather, a symbol that is used in clearing ceremonies for smudging, reminds you of the sacred commitment you make to your life. This is the symbol of consciously bringing the spiritual into the material and fusing the world with reverence and acknowledgement of the higher planes of existence that influence and animate all life. The feather is a symbolic reminder of deliberately entering into partnership with the Great Spirit, co-create for the highest good of all. It's a time to clear your energy, be present, and become conscious of how you communicate. Huge, guys. This is a good time to write in a journal and put your thoughts into cohesive form. Perhaps you need to actually do a smudging ceremony. I'm actually playing on YouTube a clearing energy for my home and myself right now, so I'm already consciously being aware. Perhaps you need to actually do a smudging ceremony in your home or your office, creating a sacred space. Write about your dreams and desires. Just remember that when taming the wind appears as a symbol, it is time to honor the Great Spirit with reverence and respect. That's beautiful. Keep tethering to your gold and silver cord. Do whatever it is to allow Great Spirit to channel through you, because we are definitely not in easy times. And like I said, with my own interpretation of this card too, taming your thoughts, breathing, breath work, consciously bringing your thoughts down into your heart space so you can merge the two, and that will cause you to communicate in a different way with others as well, like this message read. Remember, the programs that have been put in place, that have been always here, are being revealed with this Plutonian energy. It's time for those things to dismantle as they are. It's not easy. It's a rocky freaking road this week, guys. Squares are always very hard aspects, but they can get a lot of shit done. Remember that, as within you, so without. We are all connected. So the days of competition and lack and knocking each other off at the knees is not it's not acceptable. It's not. We've depleted the earth, her soil. Few corporations run the frickin' world, and they do not have the benefit and the equality for all of us. It's time for us to maybe plant some seeds. This may be starting to grow some food for yourself. Whether you live in the city or the country, either way, start something in a flower pot that is sustaining, whether it be lettuce or celery. Just start somewhere, and minus the chemicals. You can use Epsom salt water to fertilize and neutralize and feed your plants. Start thinking about the products that we use. Start valuing yourself, because when you do that, you just no longer support the system, right? And frankly, the industrialized revolution, whether it be farming or outsourcing or whatever it is, you even outsourcing your energy, your life force energy outside of you, it's not good. It's depleted everybody. It's depleted the earth. And greed, competition, all of these lower energies that are not who we are falling apart and dismantling. Keep in check your mind, your thoughts. Remember, like I said, with Mercury and Uranus, was it Mercury and Uranus? Let me double check. Pluto, Uranus, something dark, hidden can come out through communication. Specifically pay attention with it being such a close orbit with United States' Pluto degree, because we may see something come out, but we may not see nothing come of it until about January 2021. Remember that. Solar plexus energy, heart palpitations was another one. I've been experiencing those flutters in the thymus again. Breathe deep. take good care of yourself. Take some supplements and minerals that are nourishing to your body. Plant the seed with the new moon. Appreciate your support here. Please, if you do resonate with this today, share it out for me. Help me get the algorithms on my channel going. Give it a like. Give it even a comment just to say hi. That will create that algorithm. I support you, and that's how you can support me. I am in open receptive, and I'm also here to give, balancing the masculine, feminine. I send this to you guys with so much love. Breathe deep. Rocky road this week, guys. Namaste.